Have you ever been to a situation where you have to do something out of the blue?
Start.
Well, this was that moment. Actually, we've been assigned to do some presentations on daily basis. It started from that day. And while presenting the presentations, we just have to record ourselves to make self-improvements in our voices and where to lower them to make them sound more interesting, or you can say more commanding, and how to use your tones to say different things like I'm doing now. And in that presentation we just had to learn that, and different body postures and body languages, how it should be when you are presenting. The improvements you're going to see at the end of this activity, which was a 15 days activity. We had presentation in the morning and in the evening, 2 presentations per day. And here's what I learned from it. So the architect I selected is Carlos Carpa because of his eye for the detail. The thing you can see in this first video is that the body language. Everything was good, but putting hands in my pocket, I was aware of that. It was not a good thing. And voice and speech, voice was in the start it was good, but with time it got slower. Content delivery, there was pauses and filler words. There were a lot of mistakes, and there was a lot of room to improve. The book I read today is The Progress Principle. So this was day 2 and it started with book summary. Today I knew what I did wrong yesterday. I did not put my hands in the pocket, and I kept it where the power zone is. But leaning onto one leg was not a good thing. The negative thing about this video is that I was watching the diary which was on table, and this is not looking good. And I think I could have done better. Beams and other structural elements to give bigger spans. Because whenever we used to bring our distorted 3D model into the Lumion, it started to make sense. It did look good. But one thing what you can see here is that the body language. See how confident am I looking, and how the things are going the way I am explaining. Today pauses are less, filler words are less. And the one more thing which is lacking is that I think I should try to link to remember the things. And the other thing is that in this video I am mostly looking at one point too much time, which is not a good thing, and I had to improve that. The magic of getting what you want. When you see his buildings, it will look like that he just turned the paper in different dimensions. So you can see that today is improvement. I'm a bit more confident. The body language is quite good. And the other thing which you can notice, my voice, I did worked on it a little bit, but the way I deliver the content, it's different this time. So today's book, this is about marketing. Okay? I'm not going to explain it. So I would like to start from you guys. Okay? आप जो है अपने काम को किस तरह से मार्केट करते हैं. Then I will conclude it according to book. And today I had a little bit confidence and I improved. So today I put an really interesting thing. This day started when I gave the book summary. I didn't just deliver the presentation and the way I remember the thing. जो भी उसमें लिखा था मैंने वो नहीं बोला. मैंने अपनी ऑडियंस को एंगेज किया वो इस तरह से कि मैंने उनके एक्सपीरियंसेस पूछे. The audience I had was also working for themselves, so they had idea about the business, and I asked them what they do to market them. So it was quite a different experience. I mean, when you have to present a book, you're not presenting that. You're just you're just getting the experience of the audience, and you tell them that what you did is in this book it is described as like this. This is the next step, how to make offer. आपने सर्विसेज दी हैं, उन्हें क्या कमी महसूस हुई है, कहाँ पर और बेहतर हो आप अपनी सर्विसेज को कर सकते हैं. So अभी तक you saw how I have started including audience into the presentation and engaging the room, how I was handling it was quite difficult because you have to keep your mind to a lot of different things also. आपके दिमाग में और भी चीज़ें चल रही होती हैं और चलनी भी चाहिए because आप छोटी छोटी चीज़ें नोट कर रहे होते हो and most of the time they go ignored, and this was the second time, so I was a little bit aware what's going on. And आपकी जो आई मूवमेंट होती है वो रूम में हर तरफ होती है. यू आर नॉट जस्ट focusing on one person, instead you're giving time to everyone, okay, and you are trying to make them listen to you because you're basically trying to make them interested and to give response to you, which is really I think it is really a tactic it is a really useful tactic which I learned. What different about this building is one dome you can see is in its original form, the way it should be, and the other one he just inverted it. It is a sole residential project we did in United States. The one thing which I've been trying to do is that explaining buildings, other people's work is always hard because you don't know what you have to talk about and how would you talk about it other than archetypes and what they have done. And I was just basically trying to focus that if there's a building in front of me, how I would explain what points I'm going to highlight because whatever I choose to speak on that building means that it has a story behind it, and I understood what the architect tried to do and what could be the narrative. So it's kind of just putting yourself into the shoes of others to learn how they did something, what they did differently. It should be site specific, and he uses light, transparency and shadows as design tools. Okay, so I know in this video there are a lot of pauseisms and filler words and things like that. Body language is not so positive, and I'm just looking on the screen most of the time, which was not a good thing, but I was under pressure. So what I learned is that if you have pressure of work and you have to do something other than that, it just affects your efficiency. It was just like going down the line which you climbed so hard, and I was standing most of the time on one place. The new 1 Minute Manager, and it is written by Ken Blanchard and Spencer Johnson. Today I was a little bit more confident, even though I was standing there. I am slowly using space more and more. I'm not trying to hide behind the table as you were seeing in the previous videos, and I'm using more volume and space. I'm just a little bit, but I just walk out of the table and stand in front of the camera, and my legs are not like bending. I'm standing straight, keeping my hands where they should be and trying to look more engaging, and how I've been learning things little by little. But this shows that the body language is improved, and the other thing is that I can still tell that when I'm explaining that I'm using my hands right now, which is, you can see that whatever you do, it affects and it helps you in other things also. So it is doing that. Now I'm trying to on facial expressions. आज की book है The Lean Startup. Basically it is about startup. The another book is Rich Dad and Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. The one thing which happened and it is not good is that I started like the same on the first day. My hands were in pocket, but this time I had more energy and I was happy, and I was kind of looked like a more engaging person. So this is the last video, and you can see that I am really confident about things what I'm saying. And the other thing which you can notice is that I'm using space a lot, and my body language is quite good than the first day, and it is improvement. though it was a little bit slow. In this video I was trying to grab the attention through my voice, but I did practice that. I don't know if that thing got recorded because camera was far away from me, so I think it might have missed the thing. इसमें आप एक चीज़ अपने कॉमन देखेंगे कि हर प्रोजेक्ट में they have followed some sort of lines. And one more thing is that today, you see how I'm explaining the building. It is quite. I have improved in that also, because the way you see I explained my first video is like really not so good, and the last one is I'm more into. I look like more into it, and touching the main things, which was quite good thing, because when you're there and trying to speak and things get off your head most of the time, but grabbing onto some things which are really important, it's kind of I can say that I have improved a lot. So guys, it's time for conclusion. You saw how I was on the first day, how terrible my presentation was, but then you also saw the last video how I was using the space, and my body language was positive, and the language and the voice tone, I've been working on that. So the one really important thing is that, which I learned from this thing is from all this activity, is that though there are a lot of them explaining buildings, body language, your voice, working on your voice, and the other most important thing is that, which I really, you can say that you cannot learn something if you're not doing it. So you can see that now. Even in this video you can see that my hands are moving and my body language is positive, but the tones in my voice, and that was the thing which I learned, the presentation, the art of presentation. So this was all. Thank you guys.